Today, a number of British soldiers were honoured with medals at Buckingham Palace.
Yes, to help us understand what it's like to go to war, a new book of poetry written by soldiers hopes to give some insight into their thoughts, fears and experiences in battle.
How can I compel time to slow and stop? At the precise point that I step softly onto the carpet of treacherous sand that has settled in the sunlit alley. In 2006 we were deployed to just outside Basra in Iraq, and my soldiers faced the threat of shootings, suicide bombers and also of roadside IEDs. Blinking back sweat tears from darting eyes, with a deep breath I placed my boots gently into the remains of crumbling footsteps made by the men who had gone before me. What if I could suspend all gravity and float freely across this no man's land? Yet I must move like an armoured chain, desperate not to disturb sly sand. We soldiers are extremely emotional individuals, and that those emotions are heightened in times of stress, tension, and what I've tried to do is to imagine what it must be like for a young soldier who has to patrol in a pretty brutal environment. But in this swollen, deafening silence, I know that I will never hear nor feel metal plates springing shut beneath my heels, triggering my moment of bloody death.
I've been a spectator in this gallery of hellish images, and now my work begins. Ashen-faced and pallid, if I don't act fast, he'll bleed out. Reaching into my mat pocket, I pull out an emergency care bandage. Sweating, shaky hands fumble and slip on the glossy plastic wrapper. If I had to paint a picture of what it was like, it is orchestrated chaos. It is the sounds of screaming men. It is the sounds of bombs impacting. Pressing the white pad against the groin and wrapping it tight, I'd stem the flow of blood. No morphine, boss, he tells me. I turn to the other man. He's getting worse, gasping for breath with a look of terror in his eyes. War to me is commitment, courage and self-sacrifice. A news report would not convey the raw emotion that poetry can.
Incoming! The siren wails with its chilling sound. Like puppet strings cut, we all fall to the ground. Face down in the dirt with racing pulse. We wait with the hope that the warning is false. We were charged with protecting the contingency operating base from rocket and mortar attacks. More impacts rumble as we struggle to hear if the next round to land will be anywhere near. Throughout the attack, the siren screams, a relentless echo that will haunt my dreams. It was something that I wouldn't want to talk about, maybe with family, but sticking it in black and white for them to read kind of made it easier for me to communicate with them what I was feeling. The all clear is sounded. We rise from the floor and return to the normal routine of before.
I remember one patrol in particular in the town of Majar al-Kabir where we had 3 roadside bombs go off, always just round the corner from us, in the space of about half an hour, so that was quite a frightening situation that we were in there. We swooped low over the target truck, then landed in its path. We charged in our stormtrooper costumes, blinding faceless shapes through dirty glass. I dragged the driver from his seat, slammed his face into hot tarmac, held it there with my suede boot, steadied my hands long enough to cuff his. I had a very ours is not to reason why attitude at the time, and it's only since I've left that I've had time to reflect and realise that actually that's not okay for me anymore. I do need time to reflect on what I did. The first box revealed ice and fish, and the next, and the next, and the last. Intelligence had said he was armed and dangerous, armed with melting ice and defrosting cod. No match for our guns, our bombs, our good intentions, our morals, our God. From my experience out there, I've seen that violence only ever breeds violence. We cut his cuffs and his wipes and left them to their ruined stock. I should demand commission from the Taliban for every recruit I've converted to their flock. In the days of YouTube where we can log on and see a soldier's eye view of exactly what's going on, I think poetry can allow us to see actually what's going on inside the soldier's head, not outside, and not the physicality of war, but the actual emotional response of the soldiers on the ground.
It's an incredible book. Heroes, 100 Poems from a New Generation of War Poets is out now.
Yeah, Jeremy, you were just telling us earlier on that your late father-in-law, he got a Victoria from us.
He did. He did. No, Victoria Cross is a big one.